Hello and good day to all our listeners today. This is your host, Jyoti, and I'm bringing today another show with an inspiring story of our guest that you can see sitting beside me. At this show, we commit to bring to you stories of our guests who have gone through challenges of their life, career, moving to Canada, or whatever path of their life they are in. And welcoming Sumegha Gupta to our show here.
Thank you.
It was pleasure to have you. And just to give you guys a little bit of a background, Sumegha Gupta, she has 14 years of experience in her own industry and is owner and CEO of NSD Tech and Carmis. She has moved from India to Canada and has established her business very successfully. Not taking much of your time, I would let Sumegha give a little bit more insight to her background, and let's get started into this conversation.
Thank you, Jyoti, for having me. It's a privilege to be able to speak with you guys. So my name is Sumegha Gupta. I am CEO and founder of NST Tech and Carmis. I moved to Canada with my husband in 2013, and it has been a great journey. Canada has been very, very kind to us. And like any other immigrant, we did lots of research before moving to Canada, and we figured it out. Like Winnipeg would be a great place to start the business. The landscape is great. People are very friendly, so it will be very instrumental in setting up a business here. And as you know, NSC Tech is an IT company serving lots of nonprofits and small businesses in Canada.
Okay.
Like from a very young age, I had this interest and fascination toward computers and machines. I was always so curious to see how things work. And I think my father played a very, very big role in that because back in India, he runs a very successful IT business. So
As well, so
yes,
it's in the blood.
I,
So I want viewers
yeah.
to know what NSD offers. NSD and Carmis, both are your babies, I would say,
Yes,
right?
yes,
so what
of course.
somebody could get there, right?
Of
Just a quick overview.
Of course. So
Mhm.
NST Tech is a company which offers website solution and custom applications to small businesses. Over the years, we have specialized to give services to nonprofits. So Carmis is one of our offerings. It is actually funded through Government of Canada. Last year, we were very fortunate to get funding under Innovation for Women Entrepreneurship Program or WED through Western Canada. So that is what we do. So applications, websites, case management, graphic design, that is what NST and Carmis does.
That's quite a lot. Not that I know anything about IT. Sounds interesting to me. I mean, graphic designing, that definitely
Yes.
amazes me. It's really fun to play with all those stuff, I'm
Yeah.
sure, right? So tell us a little bit about, although you mentioned it was in your blood, you had that environment at your house, your dad being in that industry, right? How was it moving from India to Canada and establishing this business? Because I mean, usually in the early stages, those are the challenges we find. There is a fear, or you can say a hesitation of getting out there, right?
Yes.
And looking for those resources that sometimes we just don't even know. So how did you get through that?
So I think in my journey, our research played a very instrumental role. So I and Nitin, both my husband Nitin. So while we were in India, we researched about the agencies who are available in Canada for help, who can help entrepreneurs. So when we moved to Canada, Seed Winnipeg, I really want to mention them. Seed Winnipeg help new entrepreneurs to start up their business. You can actually go there, brainstorm your ideas, and they help you go through the entire process, the journey of being, from nowhere to actually being a successful entrepreneur. So that's a big, big support, and it's through Government of Canada, so you don't have to pay anything. It's all services are free of cost. In fact, they are actually running these series, information sessions, free of cost these
Okay.
days, for especially for immigrants. So if
Nice.
someone is interested and if they're willing to start their own business, I would recommend them to go to Seed Winnipeg's website at seedwinnipeg.ca and register themselves for those sessions. So it really, really helped them to understand what it entitles to actually start a business in Canada. And that's how I started my business with Seed.
So, like you mentioned, you did a research, right?
Mhm.
So, what made Seed to stick out? Like, I know BDI offers. Not that I'm here to compare any
Yes, of course.
organization over other, but just want to know, if was there some convenience, or there is something that may have convinced that
Yes, of
Seed
course.
is a good option for me, or is it an industry-based organization? Like, if I come from a different industry, would that be a thing for me to go to as well.
So I think for Seed Winnipeg, what stand out for us was the success stories on their website. So
I
we saw
see.
lots of people like us,
It's like
people-
reviews, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
coming from different backgrounds, coming from Asian countries, having similar challenges. And when we read through the stories, it resonated so much with us. We're like, this is what we want to do.
I see.
And these people who have come before us have gone through the same experiences and now having thriving businesses in Canada. So we thought, Seed would understand our perspective.
Mhm.
And then the best part about Seed is like when you come from a different country, always have that fear of judgment. People
Definitely.
will judge you,
Yeah.
will judge you on your accent, they will judge you on your color. But with Seed Winnipeg, we never had that fear of judgment. We just go there, we will just ourselves. We were never afraid of asking questions. So I think that made all the difference working with Seed Winnipeg.
That's incredible. Like, I mean, coming out. So you started this business right after you guys landed, or like what was the transition period?
So
between-
we came to Canada in 2013 of January,
Mhm.
and then we started with Seed Winnipeg in March. So they had this VDS program where you have to go every day, take classes, and in classes you have to prepare a business plan. They help you meet the investors. They bring in lots of mentors to talk
I
to you,
see.
so that you can ask questions. They bring in lawyers, accountants. It's a great program. And it took us like 2 months to go through the program. Then you have to submit your final report to them.
I see.
During that time, we started implementing those things actually. So I think soon after, I think in April of 2013, we got our first client. So
That's
that was really good. You just have to follow through the process.
So
And then-
basically, they guide you through. It's not
Yes.
like, okay, your business plan is done. This is the funding you get, or I don't know if they offer funding even.
So they have different programs, but they do not offer funding as such for the business. But obviously, you can talk to them and know more about it. But in our case specifically, it was more like helping us to establish from start to end. They will help you to bring the plan. At the end of the day, you have to work on it, right?
Work on it, yeah.
But you have a support system around you. Like for example, if I'm stuck with how to do taxation in Canada, like
I
what kind
see.
of taxes are, I don't know in business what I need to do.
Right.
VST, GST, you can go and ask them.
I
So
see.
instead of you
Trying to figure
it
out
you have a
and doing
support
it
system.
wrong and
Of
then
course.
learning your lessons,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Go to them, you have that resource
And then
available.
that makes lots of difference, because when you're new, you want to get things done right, and if there's someone to guide you, it makes all the difference.
So I think during my research, I found out you mentioned like you're a board member at Seed as well.
Yes.
Okay.
It's been very rewarding. Like I think when we started as a participant, and over the years, I volunteer with them. I just go and talk about my story, talk about other women entrepreneurs, how they are doing, what challenges. We just do brainstorming. So that help us to bring this. And then I've been very fortunate when they asked me to join their board, and it's been quite a journey from just participant to the board member. So yeah, it has been great.
That's really good. So I'm sure like people know now where to go, but for sure they have to do their own homework
Yes,
a
of
little bit,
course.
right?
Yes.
So just a quick brief, like what do you think somebody should have before they actually approach even Seed? Because I mean everybody comes with their dream, and people realize that having your own business, definitely it gives you freedom as well, but it comes with quite a bit of responsibility. So
Yes,
how
yes.
can they start right? If there's any lesson learned for you as such when you
So I
started?
think for NST Tech, like our company, so I always had an idea what I wanted to do. Like I always wanted to start this IT company. I had this idea, okay, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to approach things. But having the right guidance was important.
So have a vision.
Yes,
right?
exactly. So you have to have a vision, and then also you should never be afraid of backing it down. Like sometimes failure comes.
I see.
You should accept it.
Right.
That's all right. It's just a setback. So
Right,
we should
right,
not be
right.
too much attached to one idea. If something better is coming, you should always take it.
I
So
see.
that's what I learned.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
I'm sure like I mean it get missed. I'm so connected to what I want, but
Yes.
I don't want to give it up.
Exactly.
That's a really good
Yeah,
point.
and that's
yeah.
a very actually I think over the years what I've learned, it's a good trait of being an entrepreneur to understand where the opportunity is. Like think of the COVID, right? Like
Right.
things have changed overnight. If we get just stuck with our old ways, how will we survive, right?
Right.
Now everything is online. You have to quickly realize, yes, I was selling, customers coming, but they're not coming anymore. How can I still survive?
Yes.
So having this this entrepreneurship in you, like just thinking how I can make use of the opportunities is very important. And for Seed Winnipeg, they're very, very approachable. You can just go online, look for the website. There's a form there, you can fill the form, and somebody can get in touch with you very quickly.
Perfect. So you did mention part of that as a resilience of being an entrepreneur, right? Coming back up again. Like I'm here, I'm not giving up. So what were some of your COVID strategies? Because I guess this is a conversation all small business to big businesses all are doing at this point. Second phase is even worse in Winnipeg right now, what we are seeing with the numbers. So what were your coping strategies and moving further into phase 2, I say?
Yes, of course. So I think COVID hit hard to everyone. It was not easy, but I think what we realized is it's important to share the lessons we all are learning. It's not the time to keep things to yourself. Right. You have to go out, you have to tell people the challenges you are facing and how you are able to cope with them.
That's
so
great.
Having this support system really helped us to think of new innovative ways.
Amazing.
And especially like with the COVID, like the things which were familiar are not familiar anymore. So the definition of familiarity is changing.
Right.
So how to bring your own new definition. So that is what we are understanding is COVID is there. There's silver lining to it. You can do so much more. Like before, IT was one of the things, but you can learn how to do business online. You still have to reach your customer, but you still can think how I can reach it faster and a better way. So it's just sharing the knowledge is one thing people should be doing so that they can do it together. We are not alone. This is for everyone.
Right.
So that is what we need to understand.
So when we talk about it, we hear others' perspective how they are getting through it, and you share yours. Kind of helps each other, but it's kind of I realized like COVID has brought communities together, industry people together, even competitors together.
Yes.
I've seen that, and I mean, it's unfortunate to see that these times have made us come together, although it was different anyways, but I think now people are sharing more and, finding solutions together.
Yes, exactly. I think what we are realizing now, all of us can coexist. Like there's a competition, but with collaboration, all of us can succeed. Yeah. So I think COVID has a silver lining, I think, which is changing the landscapes, how we're doing the businesses.
Yeah. I'm gonna switch gears to a different topic a little bit. Considering I have read on your, some of your material that is available on your over the internet that you're a big advocate about STEM and having women into your IT industry. Yes. And our conversation was a little bit touching on that as well earlier, that you wanna encourage women into this industry. Why do you feel that way? Do you why in 20th century IT industry still has that scarcity of women equality still?
So I think Jyoti, I think I was fortunate enough to have this environment at my home, so that my father and my mother encouraged me to actually pursue IT and STEM. But not all women are that fortunate. I think this is very important because we have to close this gender gap. Because women are very, very important for innovation. So if we are able to bring the innovation and what women can do, it can make all the difference. So it's very important for innovation plus closing the gender gap. Plus I think more advocacy is required for women to understand how they can do more with their skills if they're in STEM. I'll give you an example.
So what is STEM first? Let's get that out there.
So STEM is basically when we talk about science, technology, engineering and maths, that. So this is what STEM is. So basically STEM goes to the logic building, the thing or the problem solving solutions. That is STEM. So there are engineer, mathematics, technology, science that contribute to STEM. STEM is the abbreviation for that. And then when we talk about we have engineers, we have scientists, we have people in IT. So all these professions contribute to the STEM part. So when we talk about STEM, we will see many women do not prefer to do this because for many reasons. So advocacy is very important so that they understand how they can contribute to STEM. If you will see, most of the designs which we have these days are by men and for men. I have a very good example for it. So when Siri was launched with Apple, very initial days. So you would notice Siri would able to respond to men answer more as compared to women. And yes, this trend was brought in attention to Apple. Apple has come long way after that, but that was the thing. The systems are designed by men and for men. So we have to see, because 50% population is women, right? So you cannot ignore this fact. So having more visibility for women in STEM is important.
So how do you think it would be different? I mean, for sure, the equality part is something that we cannot ignore. We want to achieve that. That is a conversation going on. rather it be, color, gender equality, or anything like that. But what do you think? Like IT could see a change in it, having women out there more, or
Yes,
even equal to the number of men we have.
yeah, of course. Like I think over my 14 years of career, what I have, I've seen so much of change. People, things are changing. We see lots of CEOs of big companies. In fact, in Winnipeg, we have lots of women CEOs
Yeah.
who are heading the IT companies. And look at Northforge, look at Tech Mentor. There's so many women who are coming and doing this great work. So landscape is changing. It's a long, long way to go. We still have, I think, long way to close the gender gap.
Yeah.
And I think this gap will finish when we'll stop saying women entrepreneur. Like, have you ever heard men entrepreneur? No,
Never.
right?
True.
So our goal should be to remove this women thing, because business should not have a gender. That's what I
Right.
think. People
Yeah.
should see me as an entrepreneur, not a women entrepreneur, right?
Right. Yeah.
And same goes with science. Science has no gender. Either you get it or you don't get it. So that is where we should be.
You have put it very beautifully, and I got, it's really, sometimes you ignore, you say things, but you don't realize how they impact, and
Because,
it just continues and become a stereotype.
Yeah.
Continue further.
that's right.
So you probably would have faced some challenges being a women entrepreneur. So share some of those, and while we're running short of time, but I just want to touch that
Yeah.
quickly as well.
Of course. So I think the biggest challenge is to be taken seriously. Like if you go somewhere, like it's so difficult to make, especially in my profession, to make people understand. Yes, I'm a women entrepreneur who is running an IT business. Like people don't see you in that light even today. So that is the biggest challenge. Plus, as you know, like women take on more of the responsibilities. So balancing that act, private life and the business life becomes very, very challenging sometimes. So that is, I always feel is it's something women has to juggle more as compared to their male counterpart. And also, even though if you want to look for mentors, I think we have lots of women mentors now, but still, to have that role model is less as compared to having these male role model. Like I'm a woman of color. I would probably like to see more of women in color who have done this before me. So I can go to them, I can talk to them, I can share my experiences. So that gap is still there. So these are challenges I generally feel we still have as women entrepreneurs.
I think you're on the right path. You are laying that
Well,
foundation
I
for
don't know.
others.
I'm just
Yeah.
trying. We have to pay it forward.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do it until we achieve it.
Yes,
right?
of course. We are doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, other than being so active in your own business, like I know we cannot let this conversation go without talking about your active role that you play in non-profit organizations. And I guess I can't even remember the number of boards you're on. So I'll just let you touch base on them and maybe share some of these projects that have impacted community.
Yeah.
So we'll love to hear about that.
Thank you. So I think volunteering is a big part of my life now. So believe it or not, I was a very shy girl before coming to Canada. Like if you would ask me to speak, I would like going to my shell like no, I don't want to do this. But volunteering really gave me a purpose. Like I know I always wanted to do IT, but how IT can be used to make the change in the world is actually opening so many avenues for me. Like IT, if you give IT tools to these non-profits who are working day and night, to make a difference, so they can do so much more. If IT can, free up their, let's say, 2 hours of a day, how much they can achieve, right? So volunteering gives me that purpose. And also, as you said, I sit on 2 boards, Seed Winnipeg and Ethnocultural Council of Manitoba. I recently joined them. It's a great organization. They have been doing lots of great work in our communities. For example, during COVID, in the COVID, they actually helped translate so much documentation in multiple languages so that people get access to these things very quickly. I know it's very important to have English and French to succeed in Canada, but till the time you are reaching there, you need these resources and this organization to help you reach there. So languages are very important. So I think volunteering gives me a purpose. It actually helps me rather than me helping more. And it's a great thing to have to volunteer.
So what satisfaction do you get out of that?
It's actually with addicting. So once you start,
really? Wow,
once you
that's
start
good to hear.
volunteering, you just the happiness and the first-hand impact you see what you are doing in the life for others. It gets
Rewarding.
you. It's very rewarding. You want to do it. You want to keep doing it. So it's very addicting. So once you start volunteering, there is no going back.
That's good to hear. I mean, very happy to hear that you're able to find time for that and you feel that's satisfying. It's
Yes.
not something you're doing it because you have to,
No, no.
kind of thing, right? And volunteering is something that you come and you say, like, I'm here for you. So it's a very
Yes.
good deed that you're doing, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Taking time out for community and
Mhm.
giving it back, kind of a thing,
Yeah.
right? I guess, Sumegha, I mean, not that I want to end this session. I really would like to keep talking to you, but
That's
it's
very
really a
kind of you.
pleasure for you to take out time.
Same here.
And again, Voice of India giving us this platform
Yes,
to
of
come
course.
together and
Thank you.
chit chat, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Any, before I let you go, like any lessons learned that you want to share with us? Somebody, who is new to Canada and want to start setup, just to quickly before we end this show
Of
here.
course. I want to add, like, always try to build a support system. It's like nobody can thrive in isolation. It is very important you have a support system going. Always have a tendency to give back. Because when you give back, like as you volunteer, you actually learn more. So these are two things I would like to tell all the newcomers. Try to build a support system in Canada and learn to volunteer. Like you don't even know what volunteering will do for you. So that is very important. And these are life lessons I learned when I came to Canada.
I hope this session has been very helpful for our viewers and anybody who is wanting to do a business or thrive in their own career. We'll keep on bringing stories like this and keep inspiring you. If you have any suggestions or want us to interview any person that you feel would be a good person to share their story, feel free to contact us at Voice of India and we'll definitely try to reach out to them. Thank you again, Sumegha, for your time,
Thank you
and
for
Voice of
having me.
India for this platform.
Okay.